All right, so let's dive in. Today we're heading to Detroit, a city, famous for its resilience, its innovation, it's always reinventing itself. Our mission here is to explore how Detroit is combining two really powerful natural forces, solar power and rainwater, not just to be green, but to build a genuinely sustainable future. We want to understand how these integrated systems actually work, their benefits, and, what this means for cities everywhere.
Yeah, and what's really exciting, I think, is that this goes beyond just like standard green tech.
Yeah.
We're talking about creating these multifunctional spaces. They're tackling energy, water, and believe it or not, even food security all at the
Ah,
same time.
exactly. It's a holistic approach. So the core idea is merging solar PV systems, photovoltaics, with rainwater harvesting. Research shows these combined systems hit multiple sustainability goals simultaneously. But okay, once they collect all that rainwater, what are some of the really clever ways they're putting it to use?
Well, it's not just stored indefinitely, it's actively used, sometimes for microhydro generation, basically using the water flow for a bit of extra power, or more commonly, it's used directly for irrigation. It creates this kind of hybrid approach, maximizing both the sun and the rain. And that's super relevant for places like Detroit, which deal with water management issues in increasingly severe weather. Makes water efficiency just as key as clean energy.
Right, making every drop count, literally. And speaking of making things count, Mayor Duggan's Solar Neighborhood Initiative sounds incredibly ambitious, transforming vacant land into clean energy sites. The goal is to offset 100% of the city's own energy use.
That's the plan. About 33 megawatts, powering 127 municipal buildings, city hall, police stations, firehouses, you name it. Spread across 165 acres in 5 specific neighborhoods. It's a huge undertaking.
Wow. Okay, but what's the most surprising twist in how they're using that land? Is there something unexpected?
Yeah, this is where it gets really interesting. It's a concept called agrivoltaics. Lightstar is working with the city on these locally sited utility-scale solar projects. Essentially, they're integrating urban farming with the solar panels.
Wait, farming underneath solar panels.
Exactly. Crops like lettuce, kale, carrots, even berries, they can actually thrive growing alongside or under the panels. It maximizes land use like crazy, boosts local food systems, and generates clean power. It's pretty ingenious.
That is amazing. Power and produce from the same spot. But okay, let's talk about the challenges. Michigan's climate isn't exactly Arizona. You've got what, only about 4.5 hours of sunlight on average daily, plus winter limits, snow, freezing temperatures. How do these systems cope?
That's a really critical point. And the answer lies in automation and smart tech. We're seeing things like solar-powered irrigation systems that use microcontrollers, sensors for moisture, temperature, rain, to really optimize water use,
Right.
even when it's cold or cloudy. Plus, automatic cleaning bots for the panels to handle snow and dirt, and low-power wireless sensors constantly monitoring the water harvesting parts.
Okay, so technology is adapting. Makes sense. But what about the economics? Does adding rainwater harvesting, mess up the budget? The source notes say it adds about 15–20% to the initial cost compared to just solar alone. So maybe $2.80 to $4.15 per watt.
It does increase the upfront cost, yeah. But here's the thing.
Ah,
It actually speeds up the return on investment. Instead of maybe 8 to 12 years for standard solar, these integrated systems can pay back in like 6 to 9 years because you're getting more value.
faster ROI. Interesting. And the agrivoltaics, even with a 25–30% higher initial cost.
That's the most advantageous, actually, because you've got multiple income streams or value streams, energy and crops. So the ROI there can drop to just 5 to 8 years. It pencils out surprisingly well because the land is doing double duty.
Okay, let's bring this down to the ground level. Is there a real-world example we can look at?
Definitely. The Bailey Park neighborhood development in Detroit is a great practical case study. It's a community-led project. They took vacant land, turned it into a park. They put up a 3 kW solar array on a shipping container, powers Wi-Fi, charging, lights for the park users. And crucially, they added gutters and a cistern to collect rainwater, which they then use to irrigate the park. It's very pragmatic, very community-focused.
Simple, effective, community-driven. I like that. So wrapping this up, what's the big takeaway here? Detroit's approach seems really holistic, right? Using rain and sun together, it feels like they're turning old problems like vacant lots into new solutions. What should you, our listener, be thinking about as we close?
I think the key is seeing how this integration fundamentally changes the equation. Liabilities, empty land, stormwater become assets, multifunctional assets. It shows that this kind of resilient, resource-smart infrastructure isn't just nice to have. It's becoming essential for cities facing all these complex challenges. And maybe the provocative thought is, What other things, what other seemingly separate urban elements could we combine like this? Where else can we find these kinds of synergistic benefits?